Hola y bienvenidos a todos. Hi, and welcome everyone to Speech Bubble Languages Spanish session with me, Louise, from Speech Bubble Languages HQ. In today's session, we are going to be exploring a grammar concept called the present continuous. It's a short, sharp session today, suitable for intermediate learners of Spanish language. So you've come across the present continuous before, most certainly within your previous studies with us or elsewhere. So to get ourselves started in today's session, I want you to look at these 5 sentences really carefully. Underlined in each of them, you will see an example of a verb in the formation of the present continuous. You might be able to recognise that because it looks awful like its infinitive, in fact. So for each of these sentences here, I want you to hit the pause button and work your way through una traducción, a translation. What do each of these sentences mean in Spanish? Now, if you are looking at these sentences just now and thinking, I don't have a clue, this list is maybe a little bit too advanced for you, why not visit our present tense videos on the YouTube channel and then come back to us when you're ready? For all of you that are ready to proceed, hit that pause button here and traducir, por favor, translate these sentences into English for me. So here's our first sentence, number 1. Mi hijo no puede salir. Está haciendo sus deberes. What did you get? My son can't come out, can't go out. Está haciendo sus deberes. What's he doing? He's doing his homework. Number 2. ¿Cómo se llama el libro que estás leyendo? What's the name of the book that you are reading? Estás leyendo. Number 3. Estoy muy ocupado en este momento. Estoy organizando la fiesta de cumpleaños de mi madre. I'm very busy at the moment. I'm organizing my mum's birthday party. I hope you're doing well so far. Here's number 4. Mi marido está preparando la cena mientras yo pongo la mesa. My husband is preparing the meal, the dinner, whilst I set the table. Number 5. Estoy viendo una serie muy buena. Te mandaré los detalles por email. I am watching a very good series. I'll send you the details on email. Each of these sentences have a present continuous underlined. Do you notice the similarity between them all? Está haciendo. He is doing. Estás leyendo. You are reading. Estoy organizando. I am organizing. Está preparando. He is preparing. Estoy viendo. I am watching. What's the similarity in the English? I hope you've picked it up so far. It's the ing at the end. Let's break down the present continuous a little bit. Present continuous is a tense that we use to describe an action that is happening right this very instant. For example, I'm talking and you are looking, you're studying Spanish lesson, you're watching a video, you're listening to the Spanish, something that's happening right this very second, not directly speaking. As we can identify in our starter challenge in English, we can recognize the tense because usually we have ing on the end of it. It's like I'm playing, you're studying, etc. In Spanish, we form the present continuous by combining the verb to be, the verb estar, you may have noticed, with what we call the present participle of the main verb. So that's estar, and then the main action in a formation called the present participle. You've got 3 examples on the screen there. Why not say them after me? Estoy hablando. Juan está comiendo. María está escribiendo una carta. Let's take a little further, shall we? As I mentioned, to form the present continuous, we need the verb estar and the present participle of the verb that you're doing. You should know the verb estar, I hope, by now. So hit the pause button here and scribble him down on your paper in the I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they formations. So what is the present tense of the verb estar? Remember, there's some accents on that verb too. Hopefully you got it right. We have estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. So firstly, done correctly, I hope, with the present continuous. So how do we form the present participle? So whatever the action it is that you are doing, there's a couple of short steps to get your present participle. So the verb that you're doing is belonging to the AR verb group. You remove the AR ending and you replace it with ANDO or ando. For example, hablar will become hablando. I am talking. Estoy hablando. We are talking. Estamos hablando. What about our other two groups of verbs? Well, ER and IR are going to gang up together here. But then you'll remove the ER or IR, and for both of those groups, add IENDO. Yendo. For example, comer would become comiendo. Are you eating? ¿Estás comiendo? The verb vivir would be viviendo. Estoy viviendo. Now, I think it's quite simple tense to form, isn't it? Provided that you recognise those lovely endings to add on to the present participle, and you know the verb estar off by heart, it's quite a good little tense to play around with. As always, however, the bad news is there are, of course, the regular present participles. There's actually one little group that are quite heavily impacted by this tense, and it's the group of verbs that are IR stem changers in the present tense. These are verbs we've come across before when we looked at irregular verbs in the present tense. So, for example, you'll see a little change in the spelling of the participles. There's the verb servir becoming sirviendo. We're used to that E becoming an I in the present tense, aren't we? Sirvo, I serve. Pedir, the verb asked for, becomes pidiendo. Again, I ask is pido, isn't it? Decir, to say, becoming diciendo. We see him almost like a digo, isn't he, in the present? There's some other examples here for you. The verb to sleep, dormir, becoming durmiendo. We've seen that happen a little bit before, although usually it's a duermo, isn't it? Durmiendo. Morir, to die. We never have to use that one. Muriendo. And poder, being able to do something. Pudiendo. So these IR verbs are already irregular in the normal present tense, and there is a little spell changing in their present participles too to watch out for. There is also a couple of other verbs that are impacted when you form the present participle for them, and it's all to do with an orthographic change. What that means is that we're changing the spelling of the present participle so that it just sounds right, that it doesn't come too far away from what the infinitive is like. It's called an orthographic change. For example, the verb creer is the verb to believe. Now, if you followed the section before, you'd see the ER dropping off and an IENDO forming. This would make it sound like creyendo, which is a bit off. Simply creyendo. You can see a Y appearing in most of those. Influyendo, leyendo, yendo, oyendo, with seguir being a little bit off too, with siguiendo. So a couple of ones to watch out for with the present participles, and these are called orthographic changes. Believe it or not, that's us come to the end of my introduction to the present continuous. To finish our first session today, there are 10 little sentences with present continuous in there for you to work your way through a further translation challenge. What do those sentences mean in English? Don't forget to read them aloud as you try each of them one by one. Try to pop your responses in the chat below for some feedback. Hasta la próxima a todos. Until next time, everyone. Muchísimas gracias y adiós. Bye, everybody.